Welcome, and a prime evening to all of you. I'm Thunderbird Prime, Master of VTuber, and tonight we're going to be reading through Lynn's event story in Girls Frontline 2. Normally I would be playing, whatchamacallit, Kaizo Mario, but my thumb is still out of commission. I'm giving it time to heal. I think it's on good progress to heal. I woke up this morning and the blister is, it was flattened. It was just the protective layer of skin on top. No more fluid. So that's a good thing, right? I didn't pop it, so I didn't cut it open, so I'm just covering my thumb in a bandage. In a specialty blister bandage. Cheetah follows Lynn to a seedy little alley in the yellow zone. The nearby street lamps crackle and blink every now and then. The ground is covered with beer bottles and other junk, and the air is redolent with a rotting stench born from the unholy fusion of expired alcohol and food scraps. Ugh. Is this the old hangout you were talking about? Can anyone who lives here really afford to buy that polyalloy card? You can find underground brokers anywhere. Why make a big deal out of it? Rather than worry about not being able to find a buyer, you should think about what you'll do if robbers suddenly show up. Lynn reaches into her waistband pocket. The heart sensation there helps calm her newer cloud down a little. Relax. We're both super strong tactical dolls, aren't we? Who would be dumb enough to try to mug us? Oh yeah. How'd you meet that broker anyway? You know how you keep asking for materials for your inventions? Especially the stuff with really weird names? I can only get those through less than legal channels. Did you only realize that just now? Huh? So, that's how it works. I guess this broker guy really helped us out a lot. I'm suddenly filled with confidence about this trade. After hearing you say that, any confidence I had is gone. Lynn comes to a halt in front of a neon sign that seems to advertise a bar. Right, this is it. We'll do things like we discussed. I'll talk to the broker, you keep watch outside. Huh? Are you sure you don't want to let everyone's beloved genius, yours truly, handle the interaction? I've already dealt with him several times before, so I'll probably have better luck haggling with him. You can take that mouth of yours and squawk if you see anything funny. Lynn continues down another winding alley and arrives in front of a rusty door grate. She knocks lightly on it, and it cracks open a hair shortly afterwards. A wary face is visible in the gap. The man exchanges looks with Lynn, then nods and opens the door, gesturing for her to enter. Hey, it's the same bar we went to in the Perry event. Unlike the dreary, silent streets, the inside of the bar is lively and bustling. Several thugs are sitting around a table and drinking beer, their massive frames making their chairs creak with every move they make. Lynn seems to have anticipated all this. She heads over to the counter and sits down next to a man in a ball cap. It's been a while. Despite the fact she's talking to the broker, Lynn doesn't turn to look at him. Instead, her eyes casually roam the drinks rack in front of her. It's easy to pick you out of a crowd, at least.
Looks like this is going to be a good day. Another good deal just walked up. Let me think. Last time I saw you was...
It seems you got a wall of text you want to dump on me. But I'll just skip it if you don't mind. I didn't come here to listen to you reminisce. I got something that ought to be pretty valuable, and I'd like you to take it off my hands. Saying so, Lynn reaches into her waistband pocket and exposes part of the card. Freshly patented by the Gerard Group. You interested? Upon seeing the card, the broker tenses up for a moment, but relaxes the next second. He takes Lynn over to a table in the corner, then removes his hat, revealing a gloomy face.
Is that liquid phase shape memory alloy? That is rare. Selling it off will be a bit troublesome, but if the price is right, there'll be no shortage of buyers. Provided, of course, that there's nothing wrong with the goods.
You can just say what you want to test it, you know. Lin humps quietly, then places the card on the table before sliding it over to the broker. He picks up the card and examines it in the dim light of the bar, then takes out a small knife from his waist. The edge glides across the surface of the card, and the honeycomb patterns on it ripple and gleam. After seeing this, the broker nods.
That's polyalloy, all right. How much do you want for it?
This much will do. Lin shows him a number. The broker doesn't respond right away, instead waxing thoughtful. The card in his hand drums against the table with a tap tap tap.
Rare goods have a lot of value as collector's items. Unfortunately, I don't have enough cash on hand to pay you in full.
What does that mean? Are you going to buy on credit?
No. What I'm trying to say is that if I had 10 minutes, I could get my boys to bring the full sum over. But, as a trader, I understand that time is money. So in the end, the ball is in your court.
Having said his piece, the broker waits for Lin's reply. If it's just 10 minutes, I can wait.
Thank you for placing your trust in me.
It seems the broker is pleased by the answer, because he smiles almost imperceptibly and raps on the table. The thugs seated by the entrance get up and squeeze their bulky frames out the front door. The folding metal gate creaks mournfully. After that, the broker snaps his fingers and someone places a steaming cup of coffee in front of Lind. The sweetness of the double-sugared beverage always allows her frazzled nerves to relax a little. This seems to be the first time I've sold you something, right? Thought you'd want to haggle more about the price.
I've never skimped on the money as long as the goods were worth it. That's my principle as a businessman.
So, if I'm not wrong, the last time I saw you, you were alone. Turns out you got yourself a crew pretty fast. Is this the secret to making it big in business?
Well, I've been slumming it all over yellow zones for so many years. Makes sense to get a few buddies, right? Strictly speaking, though, that isn't the secret to making it big in business. That would be profit above all.
The sound of scattered footsteps echoes down the alleyway, heading for the bar. Lin glances through the window and sees several Varyagers walk past.
And when an opportunity comes to kill two birds with one stone, no businessman would refuse.
Click. Lin hears the crisp sound of a chambering round from behind her. She turns to see the broker's mouth twisted into a savage grin, the muzzle of his gun pointed between her eyes. Just then, she gets a transmission from Cheetah. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? I saw a bunch of armed Varyagers heading toward the bar just now. Better keep your eyes... What's wrong with the signal here? Hello? Lin, there are Varyagers heading toward the bar. Be careful. Wow, thanks, Cheetah. The warning came just in time. A pack of Varyagers bursts into the bar, and they all point guns at Lind. Lin shakes her head, ignoring Cheetah as she repeats hello over the channel and tightens her grip on her gun. I was hoping we could settle this in a civilized way, but it looks like that's not an option anymore. Fine then. I've been pissed off all night. Time to take it out on you. I knew it. You're only punctual when it's time for a fight, aren't you? Lind, how did things end up like this? Did negotiations break down or something? Rather than not successful. Should I say it was too successful? Either way. This is a fight we can't avoid. Cheetah, prepare for a breakout. Time for this genius to show her brilliance. I mean, how many enemies are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 8? Sure. I think we can go with corrosion this time. Actually, switch these two. Move Lind over here. Alright. Combat start. Like, rest assured, once my thumb heals up again, I'll see if I'll go back to Kaizomaru 2. That is the plan. Okay, who can we take out? Not many people, huh? Unless we do some sneaky business. Wait, that didn't hit. Damn it, that didn't hit. I thought that was gonna hit both of them. That doesn't hit both of them. God damn it. Okay. Change of plans. Go up here. I'm still stuck in Screw City in Kaizomaru 2. With those crazy ass jumps. Maybe when my thumb is better, I'll try that again. Because my thumb got fucked up because of Ultra Star in whatchamacallit, Kaizomaru 1. Bye! Alright. Can we do this? How many can we hit? What do we move over here? That should do it. Ow! Alright, time to show off the ultimate. Taka taka taka! Tongues of fire spit from gun muzzles, riddling the door with sparks. Unable to hold up its own weight, it collapses with a loud crash, and Lin and Cheetah take the opportunity to escape the bar. The sounds of gunfire, the Varjagers yelling, and the girl's frantic footsteps blend together in a pitch-black alleyway. Savages, all of them. Lin shoots an exasperated look at Cheetah. What are you looking at me for? If not for this genius's heroic intervention, you'd be even bigger trouble now, right? If you hadn't started chucking smoke bombs around all of a sudden, I could have gotten the ID card back. You mean shaking off the guys chasing us isn't important at all? Just as Cheetah finishes, several more Varjagers show up at the entrance to the alleyway and point their guns at the duo. Lin grabs Cheetah and yanks her into a side alley. Several bullets hit the wall behind the place where they were a moment ago, throwing up wisps of dust. All the escape routes we planned have been cut off by Varjagers. What do we do now? Do you have any other backup routes? Well, if there's no way out, why not just make one? Lin shifts behind Cheetah and pulls her trigger. A haul of buckshot forces the pursuing Varjagers back, and they duck behind cover. Bang, bang, pull my devil trigger. Then, Lin swings her muzzle over and takes out the Varjagers, trying to ambush them from the flanks. Just as the two of them are about to make their breakout, yet another squad of Varjagers appears in front of them. There they are! Don't let them get away! Over here, Lin! On your 3! The two of them hurry deeper into the alley, but find that it leads to a forbiddingly high wall. The shouts of the Varjagers grow louder behind them. We got them cornered, boss! There's a dead end! Get the boys over here! They're not getting away this time! Damn it. There's no end to them. These goddamn cockroaches. After checking her ammo and discovering that she's running out, Lin looks at Cheetah. How many more of those bombs do you have? Let me see. Oops, I think I just threw the last one. Lin looks at the wall. It doesn't seem surmountable by effort alone. The sound of footsteps growing increasingly louder reminds her of the reality that the Varjagers are going to reach them any minute now. They're out of time. Cheetah, climb on my shoulders and get out of here. What? I said climb on my shoulders and get out of here. I'll stay behind to cover you. Hurry. So you're telling me to escape ahead of you? Hell no. If someone's going to be covering someone else, I can do it for you too. Your frame is smaller and you're more mobile than me. Your chances of escape are higher than mine. But... No buts. One person escaping is better than none at all, right? We've taken on so many hostage rescue missions already, so just think of it as my turn to be saved this time. In there! They're all the way in the end! We don't have time for this. Go, Cheetah! Cheetah can hear the Varyager's footsteps approaching. She grits her teeth, then vaults over the wall with Lin's help. She looks back and sees the Varyager swarming Lin, who furiously fires into the horde. I'll be back for you, Lin. Wait for me. Like, I feel like for that multi-rope jump, I feel like either my timing is off or I'm missing something entirely. Like scattered grains. When one's life is threatened, an exception can be found to any rule. This one is Lightless Alley. It is not only terror that thrives in the darkness, but profit. And there's Groza versus Dartur. On the outskirts of the Yellow Zone. Frostfall squad follows the signal to its endpoint, but all they find is a patch of sandy dirt surrounded by an endless expanse of wasteland. Over here! Over here! Lin's signal is close by! This is where the trail ends. They must have jammed it starting from this point. Tololo, can you make any contact by radio? Connection failed. Lin's communicator is probably not in range. Let me see. When was the last time Lin's signal showed up? It was roughly 5 hours ago. Tololo looks around. There's nobody else here besides Frostfall squad. A gust of wind blows and the trio's footsteps are instantly covered up by the sand. Even our tracks from 5 minutes ago would be hard to find, let alone 5 hours. Cheetah, you're the one with all the clues now. Think carefully. Did you see anything noteworthy during the battle? If you're talking about noteworthy stuff... What are you looking at me for? If you hadn't started chucking smoke bombs around all of a sudden, I could have gotten the ID card back. Come to think of it, those Varyagers were acting really weird. They'd already gotten the polyalloy card, so why would they need to pursue us so hard? What? So this wasn't just a robbery, but a deliberate doll kidnapping. Also, there were tons of Varyagers, and they blocked off all the escape routes we planned beforehand. How many of them were there? About 6 or 7 squads worth at the very least. That is strange indeed. The Varyagers usually think of underground brokers as easy targets due to the difference in fighting strength, so both sides tend to think poorly of each other. While there are some less moral brokers who slum it with the Varyagers, an operation like this is far beyond the ability of a single broker to control. In other words, it's not so much that the broker was in league with the Varyagers, but there was someone with troops of their own running the whole show from behind the scenes. Chongju ponders the issue. Was there anything special about these Varyagers? Something special, Let me think. Ah! I got it! They were wearing badges with something that looked like a dagger on them. It was like... just like... Leader, picking up an unknown signal nearby, approaching us from the south. The roar of an engine precedes the light of the gray jeep cresting a sand dune. Thick black smoke spews from behind it as the noise shatters the peaceful silence of the desert. Just like... yeah, just like the insignia on that jeep. They were the ones chasing me and Lin last night. Upon realizing that Lin might be on that vehicle, Frostfall squad subconsciously tightens their grip on their guns. Frostfall squad, prepare for battle. Intercept that vehicle. Alright. Alright, this is more tightly confined. So we can definitely do more damage here. Alright, Sleepo Beepo, time to drink your wake-up juice. Nope, do this. Do this. Bang, bang! How many can we get? this many. We can get 3. And then another 2. Easy. Oh, we can't get them all. Stupid boxes are in the way. You're wide open. Damn it! They got the jump on us! As the bullets hit their tires, the Varjagers realize that something's off and frantically pull hard on the steering wheel. Retreat! Retreat! Think you can run? Not so fast. Bearing 035 degrees. Ready to... Fire! Frostfall squad seizes the moment and opens fire as one. With a loud crash, the Jeep finally gives up the ghost, skidding for a distance before overturning. Ugh! Leader, we've intercepted the vehicle. I'm heading in to search it. Leader, I didn't find Lynn on the vehicle, but I found that broker from yesterday who dealt with us. Cheetah drags the trussed-up broker from the crashed Jeep and dumps him on the ground like a sack of potatoes. The impact knocks his gas mask off, revealing the grimace on his face. Dolls? Is that so surprising? You should have seen a lot of dolls recently. For instance, the one who tried to sell you that polyalloy card last night. What did you do with her? Chongju presses her gun against the broker's head. The broker laughs in an infuriating way, as if Chongju's anger means nothing to him. So that's how risky this deal turned out to be. If I'd known, I would have asked that guy for more. Don't change the subject. Chongju jabs his temple with her gun for emphasis, and the pain makes the broker wince. I'll ask you one more time. What did you do to Lind? And who is that guy? Okay, fine. According to the code of the brokers, I shouldn't be telling you who hired me. However, I think exceptions can be made when your life is at risk. The broker stretches out his right hand and draws a number in the air. He called himself Holtz. He showed me a picture of the doll to bring in and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. As for whether it was a fake name or he wanted the doll for, beats me. It's way above my pay grade, so to say. Holtz. Chongju is visibly surprised to hear that name. Leader, what's wrong? If I'm not wrong, the client from yesterday's commission at the mansion was also called Holtz. And according to the client information he has submitted, this Mr. Holtz ought to be the young master of a toy company. Wait, seriously? What would some little prince from a toy company even want with Lind? I'm not sure, but I am sure that Miss Hellian's information is correct. Where did you hand her over? It was due south from here, at a port on the edge off the Yellow Zone. Miss Dald, if you ask me, we can talk terms here and make a mutually profitable Bam! Chongju decides that there's nothing more she can learn from him and cuts off his blather with a gun butt to the back of his head. Cheetah knocks out the rest of the Varjager mooks as well. Leader, since we know where Lind is, we should head out right away. Tololo emerges from the jeep, waving at Chongju with the ID card in hand. Search complete. I've recovered the polyalloy card. Yes, Lind might be in danger, so we should move quickly. Frostfall squad, head toward the port at maximum speed. On foot? I mean, the jeep is total now, so they can't just steal the jeep. Like, it blew a tire, black smoke coming out. Yeah, I wouldn't take it either. Banquets, wine, and VIP guests. The shadow below the crystal goblet is harder to clean away than wine stains. Also, congratulations on getting first Dora. You're officially the coolest member of chat tonight. We're doing reading. The veil of night settles over the quiet port. Rusted cranes stand in formation by the waterline, a testament to its past glory. Currently, most of the street lamps by the shore are damaged, blinking on and off intermittently. Frostfall squad huddles in a dark corner of the port, studying a massive cruise liner moored to a pier. This luxury vessel stands in stark contrast to the dilapidated port. Its hull and surroundings are illuminated like daytime by high-power searchlights. More people are boarding. Tololo studies the gangway intently through the binoculars she's holding. This will be the 11th group tonight. Security guards in black uniforms stand on the gangway. They step forward and halt the two people who are approaching them. One of them, a well-dressed gentleman, takes a card out from his pocket and hands it to the guards. After verifying the guest's identity, the guard returns it to him with both hands and executes a picture-perfect 45-degree bow before gesturing to the guest and his accompanying doll to board the vessel. Most of the guests are accompanied by dolls. I surmise that after this Holtz kidnapped Lind, he might have brought her aboard as his companion doll. Given the way they're dressed, I'd say there's some kind of party in there. But then why would they need so many dolls for a party? It's just weird. Also, our current location could be considered the border between Green Zone and Yellow Zone. So why would those rich people from the White Zone come all the way to join an ordinary party here? Tololo, why are you looking at me? I was just surprised. It turns out even you can say something useful at times, Cheetah. Ah! So you're taking shots at me now that Linda's gone, Tololo? Seeing that Cheetah is about to flip out, Chongju strategically clears her throat to get the conversation back on track. We'll probably only learn the answer to those questions after we go in there. Cheetah, do you have any items that could help us sneak aboard a cruise ship? Of course I do. I recommend using this genius's tactical grappling claw. A gentle throw sends it onto the deck, whereupon it latches on tight, and then you can swing over with a whoosh! Chongju looks around at the searchlights around the cruise liner and shakes her head in resignation. Anything else? How about this imitation dolphin? We could hide under it and swim over to the liner, then wait till they're not looking before climbing aboard. Cheetah, the plan is to sneak in. Not draw the attention of the people on the ship. I knew it. I was clearly imagining things when I thought Cheetah could be useful. Hey! I heard that, Tololo! Fine then. Why did you come up with a solution of your own? If stealth isn't an option, let's just walk right in. What? It looks like this cruise liner is for members only. While the perimeter security is very tight, the security procedures for boarding are fairly simple. All guests have to do is show their ID. And this is what they're showing to the guards. Tololo takes out the polyalloy card she recovered from the broker and puts it in Chongju's hands. So we'll be posing as guests then. Yup. Based on what we just saw just now, it's not unusual for a guest to board in the company of a doll. So we should be able to get 2 people in there. As for whether there will be further security measures after we get in, that remains to be seen. This is the only plan they have which seems even the slightest bit workable, and every moment wasted only increases the chances of Lin meeting with danger. Chongju comes to a conclusion. That's fine. We'll leave one person outside to respond to any changes in the situation and minimize the risk of failing the mission. I'll disguise myself as a guest. As for Tololo and Cheetah... Chongju glances at Cheetah, whose face full of anticipation and imagines what might happen if Cheetah is allowed to roam free on her own. Scenes of the port being leveled by explosions and other kinds of devastation all fill her mind. I think I'll bring Cheetah with me. Tololo, stay outside and help analyze the vessel's structure. Make sure you maintain constant contact with Griffin HQ. Got it. Tololo nods and raises the binoculars again. Now the remaining issue is how to hide the glossiness of a doll's synthetic dermis. That's easy, leader. Just leave it to me. At last, it's time for my genius invention, Skinwalker Spray, to shine. Soon, Tololo is watching Chongju and Cheetah approaching the gangway with her binoculars. Greetings. Your identification, please. Chongju hands the guard the ID card with her left hand. Her right hand is behind her back, feeling for her dagger. The guard eyes Chongju warily. Is something wrong, madam? Are you not feeling well? I feel a little hot under these searchlights. Be quick about it, please. The guard sticks the card into the reader. There's a quiet beep, and the word success appears on the screen. We apologize for your discomfort, madam. Welcome aboard the MV Novelist, madam. We hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you. Chongju nods and collects the ID card. Then she gently drags Cheetah along into the depths of the cruise liner. Ooh, fancy! Oh god, there's slot machines! Oh no! The liner's interior is decorated in a Baroque style, with crystal chandeliers hanging high overhead, filling the hall with brilliant illumination. Guests in fancy clothing hold flutes of champagne as they converse in small groups. The sound of laughter and clinking glasses fills the air. Chongju and Cheetah only draw a few aside glances as they enter the hall. Those guests who notice them merely raise their glasses in salute before turning away to re-immerse themselves in the revelry. Wow, is this how the rich throw parties? Look at all this luxury! Leader, look! They decorate this wall with collapse pieces. Can we grab a few on our way out? Lower your voice, Cheetah. There are many guests and security personnel here. We need to keep a low profile and avoid drawing unnecessary attention. A line of security robots roll between them in an orderly manner. They split up and slowly roll into the areas to the left and right. Chongju watches them as they head into the depths of the hall. The left contains the dining hall and shopping area, while the right has the bar and the lounge. Which one are we going to check out first, leader? Time is tight, so for efficiency's sake, I think we should split up. Cheetah, you go left and I'll go right. We'll be back here in 10 minutes. Got it. See you later, then. Casino! Oh, God! The bar that adjoins the casino is livelier than the main party hall. The guests gather in small groups, and occasional laughs escape them. Some of the guests are red-faced with anger, loudly bemoaning their luck, or lack thereof. Apple juice, please. Chongju takes a drink from a passing waiter's tray and leans on the bar, quietly listening to the conversation between the guests. Soon, her attention is drawn by a nearby commotion. Hey, barkeep! Give me and my friend here a glass of Lafite. Chongju looks to the side. Two businessmen are walking in from the bar entrance arm over shoulders, headed for the counter. Upon noticing what's going on, the people around them seem to be either afraid or in awe of their status, because they immediately clear a path for them and give the pair a wide berth. I haven't seen you here in so long. Where have you been recently? I had some business on my family side, so I had to attend a whole bunch of gatherings and parties. Took a lot of doing to get free, let me tell you that. Oh, but isn't that fun? About as fun as a hole in my head. They're all boring as hell in the end. It's this place that suits me best. After all, there are some events that you can only find here. They're the only things that really get my blood going. The rich man taps the table with a knuckle, then points down. The two of them exchange knowing smiles. That's right. That's not even getting into tonight's special event. It should be about time, right? The rich man looks at his watch. The gemstones set into the hands glisten with a crimson light. He laughs, then takes an exquisitely made metal box from his coat pocket, revealing a neat row of gold casino chips. Since we've got time, why don't we do something fun to whet our appetites? The card tables have been boring as hell during the past few weeks without you. It'd be my pleasure. A hint of excitement crosses the wealthy man's face. He nods, then snatches up his glass and drains it in one gulp. He then adjusts his suit while the other man pats his shoulder. The two of them get up and head toward the casino. Before long, they're lost in the flow of humanity. Chongju places her empty, long-stemmed glass on the counter before nodding to the bartender and withdrawing to the main hall. At the same time, Cheetah returns from the dining hall. Leader, listen to me. I found two really weird things. Chongju nods, indicating that Cheetah should continue. Remember what Tololo said about seeing humans with doll partners at the port? But I didn't see any dolls in the main hall. Where'd they all go? Now that you mention it, I've only seen humans here too. See? If Lynn were taken onto the ship by that guy, she should have been put somewhere out of sight with all those other dolls. Keeping track of the dolls' movements is definitely important. Well done, Cheetah. That was a very important clue. I got more awesome stuff in store. Take a look at this picture I managed to secretly take with my microcam. The picture shows the security robot's back access port. After magnification, they could clearly make out the serial number on it. G&L Beta. That's the model we saw at the mansion. On those robots Mr. Holtz ordered from the Gerard Group. Oh yeah, didn't Tolo say those models weren't being marketed by the Gerard Group? Don't tell me. This entire ship is Gerard Group property. That's definitely possible. However, it's also possible that the Gerard Group merely lent technical assistance to the ship operators. Regardless of which case turns out to be true, the one thing that we know for sure is that this ship is firmly linked to the Gerard Group. Wow. Suddenly, a long hum fills the air. It seems to be coming from overhead. What's going on? That sounds more like a train than a boat. The humming gets louder, but the guest seems completely used to this and do not respond in any way. Just then, Chongju's communicator beeps. She picks up the call and hears Tololo's voice. Leader, the gangway guards just returned to the vessel, and the gangway's been closed up. It seems the ship is about to weigh anchor. No wonder we heard this strange noise. It must have been the vessel's air horn. I'll have Miss Hellion arrange for a vehicle support, so I can continue supporting you at sea. I'm concerned that the situation might spiral out of control once the ship leaves port, so please be careful. Understood. As it turns out, I have some things that I need you and Miss Hellion to investigate too. Chongju briefs Tololo on everything she's learned so far. So you want to look into that link between the Novalis, Mr. Holtz, and the Gerard Group? Yes, I've got it. Also, I have some input on the potential location of the dolls that I'd like to share with you. Playing on Heroic? Let's clear everything first, then redo it on Heroic. In the next moment, Chongju receives a quick sketch of the liner structure. Observations of the exterior suggest that the liner is divided into 3 main decks, marked first floor, second floor, and basement 1. Passengers can only board the vessel via one route. In other words, via the first floor deck, where you are now. What about the second floor? What are they doing up there? Thermal scans indicate that the second floor contains servers, so my guess is that it has a functional purpose similar to a server room, a command center, and other such facilities. However, I'm suspicious of the basement 1 deck. The part that's below the waterline? Yes, there's a hidden passage on first floor that appears to lead to basement 1. It's very heavily guarded and there's lots of worker traffic moving through it. Measurements of the cargo they're moving show that they're very similar in size to dolls. In other words, Lynn's most likely to be in basement 1. Leader, since we know where the entrance is, why don't we hurry over right now? We'll take out the door guards, and rush straight in. After studying the number of security robots patrolling the main hall, Chongju shakes her head. Tololo, are there any guests leaving through that entrance? No, only workers. But it's not just the dolls. I don't see their owners either. That's where the problem lies. The fact that these guests can move through suggests there must be VIP route from first floor to basement 1. We just don't know where it is. Chongju's eyebrows narrow as she recalls what happened earlier in the bar. When that wealthy guest said, "this place," he pointed down. And then the look of interest when he flashed those gold casino chips. Looks like there's a big secret behind the bar. Cheetah, let's head over to the casino. It's very likely that the basement 1 entrance is hidden there. Private invitation. Congratulations, you have been chosen as the most special guest for this event. The humming of fans, the beeping of machinery, the rush of liquids through pipes. Surrounded by these sounds, Lynn slowly opens her eyes. Damn it, my head hurts. The room before her is dark. The surrounding walls are covered in displays, whose flickering images radiate a ghostly blue light that dimly illuminates the interior. She's never seen this place before. Where am I? Ah, you're finally awake. How do you feel? Lynn shudders as she hears an unfamiliar voice speaking directly into her ear and reflexively reaches for her gun, only to find that she is securely bound to the chair she's in. The chair slides along the ground for some distance, and the shrill sound of metal grinding against metal fills the air. The man laughs sadistically as he watches Lynn struggle. Unfamiliar man. No need to be so anxious. I'll give your gun back later. Lynn looks to the side and sees a man in fancy clothes leaning against a control console, a mocking smile on his face. He has one hand in a pants pocket and holds a long-stemmed glass in the other, blissfully savoring the fragrance of the wine within. The man slowly raises his head and exhales a long, slow breath. Even the best wine only shows its true worth in the eyes of one who understands it. Similarly, even the most powerful doll can only show its true power when wielded by a capable master. If I were you, I'd feel honored to have been chosen by a professional like me. Cat got your tongue? Are you in such awe of my presence that you cannot muster up the ability to speak? No. It's just that you're trying so hard to be cool, but all you're doing is being cringe instead. Is that what passes for businessmen these days? Have you fallen so low that you resort to kidnapping dolls? You'll really do anything to make a quick buck, won't you? The corner of the man's mouth twitches visibly. He takes a deep breath and forces a smile to his face once again. It looks like I'll need to properly introduce myself. My name is Carl Holtz, a genius who made best-selling toys at the age of 6. Even a doll should have heard my name when the magazines published it. Harl? Who's that? Not Harl. Carl! Nope, doesn't ring a bell. So what does this have to do with abducting dolls? My father, Yakov Holtz, is the supervisor of the drug group's robotics R&D department. You should understand what that means, right? Our family hasn't fallen so far that we need to kidnap dolls to sell for money. So, you're not the failure of a businessman, but you're a failure of a nepo baby then. If your aim was to bring me here so I would praise you, you picked the worst person imaginable for the job. Carl's mouth twitches even more intensely now. He takes 3 deep breaths before he speaks again. Let me say again, I'm not going to sell you off, so stop calling me a failure. I simply want you to do me a favor, Miss Lind. Tonight, there's going to be an arena match in the depths of the cruise liner. I want you to help me win the match so I can make a point to my father. The confusion in Lynn's eyes grows, but Carl gets more and more excited. He begins a long spiel about bothering to ask Lynn if she wants to hear it. The cruise liner you're on is actually a cathedral of entertainment for those in our rare-field social class. In here, money, power, position, everything can be wagered. And the most exciting bets are placed on the arena match that you'll soon participate in. I don't believe anyone can resist that temptation. What do you mean by arena match? Does it involve fighting? I have no idea why people are so captivated by these primitive displays of violence. And I have even less idea where you're getting your confidence from, thinking that everything's going to come up roses just because you kidnapped a doll. You don't get it. A genius like me only makes a move after crafting a 100% foolproof plan. Since the arena match is a constant contest of strength, there's no question that tactical dolls have the advantage over civilian dolls. Unfortunately, most tactical dolls are employed by the military or government organizations, and I have no desire to antagonize the government. Neither do I possess the strength to face off against the military. Therefore, Carl's eyes gleam with madness as he slowly walks around to the rear of the chair and paints his hands on Lynn's shoulders. My best choice was a small PMC like yours with no funding or official backing, which won't make waves even if an incident occurs. Those robots I stationed at the mansion were part of a test I arranged. Congratulations, Miss Lind. Your combat performance has won my highest approval. Huh? Small PMC? Won your approval? Lind has no idea where to start picking his words apart. You're an adult, right? Do you not even know about Griffin and Kruger? 10 years ago, Griffin was the premier PMC in the country, and you were still probably playing with literal dolls somewhere. And this plan of yours is so full of holes it's more like a fishing net. 100% foolproof my ass. For example, if I hadn't gone to sell off that card, wouldn't your plan have derailed right from the start? But in the end, you went out and tried to sell it, right? That just proves my plan worked. Even if you hadn't taken the card, then I would have uncancelled my future commissions with Griffin and continued trying to lure you out. As long as I could get you away from Griffin, I'd have a chance to make my move. Carl begins rambling to himself. The mania in his eyes gradually fades, replaced by gloominess. The Varyagas were useful for that, at least. Offer enough and they'll solve any kind of problems for you. If you hadn't mentioned Gerard Group just now, I'd probably have mistaken you for some stupid playboy. Did you actually think those Varyagar thugs can be trusted? Are you retarded? How the hell did the Gerard Group manage to produce a failure like you? Shut up. Carl's expression shifts, and he tightens his grip on Lynn's shoulders. The sudden pain forces Lynn to frown. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Stop calling me a failure! You're the same as all those people from the Gerard Group. All you do is piss me off. I thank everyone here for taking time out of your busy schedules to take part in this charity gala. I'd like to use this opportunity to introduce my son, Carl. The toy he developed is a bestseller on the market, and all proceeds from the sales will be donated in full to our charity foundation. Come, Carl, say hello to all the nice people. Hello, everyone. I expected nothing less of Madam Holtz's boy. He's clearly extraordinary even at the tender age of 6. I'm sure he'll be running a corporation of his own by the time he turns 26. How blessed you are, madam. But of course, it's only natural that Madam Holtz's son should be a rare genius. Why don't you say a few words, young Carl? We'd like to bask in your genius. Thank you all for coming to attend my wife's funeral. To honor my wife's dying wishes, I will shoulder the legacy of the Holtz family and strive to restore its glory. My condolences, Mr. Yakov. It is truly a shame that your wife was taken from us in the prime of her life. I cannot imagine the sorrow that you and young Master Carl must be going through now. Father, I want to see Mother. Where is she? Is Mother not coming back? Silence, Carl. Stop whining like a little failure. My apologies. It seems we have shown you an unseemly side of ourselves. Oh, here comes the failure of the Holtz family. Still playing with toys at this age? The Holtz boy never really grew up, did he? Why don't you say a few words, Carl? Teach us how to be a spoiled failure who doesn't even care about how pathetic he is. The experimental funds I gave you were so you could develop mechanical products that would contribute to the Gerard Group, not to waste on playing house. I wasn't expecting you to make a decent copy of that doll, but are you saying you can't even figure out a way to defeat it? Is that it? How did Celia give birth to a failure like you? I am Carl Holtz, the heir to the Holtz family. It's one thing if Father looks down on me, but for a mere doll to do the same. What right do you have to criticize me? The hands gripping Lynn's shoulders suddenly let go. Then a fist whistles through the air before slamming into the side of Lynn's head. The impact of the fist in her head hitting back the chair briefly dazes her. Lynn turns and looks Carl straight in his angry, bloodshot eyes. You mad, bro? So the heir to the Holtz family went to all this expense just to capture a mere doll. Doesn't seem very smart to me. And besides, why exactly should I do what you tell me? I can control those berserk robots. I have access to Gerard Group's latest technology. You've already seen those robots before. They were under my control. Soon you will too. Carl kicks a button on the back of Lynn's chair. The surface of the armrest in the back of the chair slides down, revealing a dense network of cables within. They coil and wrap around Lynn until she is tightly bound. Right after that, a powerful electrical current pours into her frame. Ugh! Pain fills Lynn's neural cloud, and she can't help the grunt that escapes her. Carl slowly walks around Lynn until he stops in front of her. You're right. I don't need to capture an ordinary PMC doll. After all, an ordinary doll wouldn't have given me such an amusing reaction. You, on the other hand, are a different story. After all, you're a ULSD test type with a sensory feedback comparable to that of a human being's. Isn't that right, SIC-012? Lynn hasn't heard that designations ULSD and SIC-012 in a long time. Her pupils suddenly contract as she hears them spoken once again. The experimentation regime she endured as a ULSD was a nightmare that constantly haunted her. She's never revealed that part of her past to anyone else apart from the commander. You. How did you? Lynn wants to ask just where he learned that information from. But the agony in her frame keeps her from speaking. All she can do is watch as he takes out a remote control, and see him smile coldly as he presses the button on it. Ugh. Streams of data and electrical currents slam into Lynn. Her pain is amplified numberless times. Carl's body seems to distend away in an instant, only to pull back in front of her as though in slow motion. Junk data washes over Lynn like a flood, filling her neural cloud and assaulting her level 2 layer. The tearing pain of the force override process pours into every corner of her frame. Her visual modules shut down amidst the pain, and her vision fills with a cold white light. Lynn struggles to see amidst the radiance, but all that greets her is the endless void. Countless elids appear out of the virtual nothingness, slowly creeping toward her. Things are looking very bad for her indeed. Damn it. The only good thing about this is that she has her trusty Auto 12 in hand, and with it her confidence returns to her. Lynn raises her gun. I cannot die. I will not die. Not here. Alright, this should be... Yeah, that's fine. That's fine too. Alright. Blah. That's really loud. Alright, can we reach all the way up? Maybe? No. We can get these two at least. And get another turn. And then... Wait. Doesn't hit him though. Shit. And we'll go over here. I don't know why. And then... We'll do that. Got him. Alright. And then... Normal shots. Ah, water breath. Gross. Alright. You do this. Drink up. And then... Damn, that's a pretty big kaboom. Alright, let's do this. I don't even have to use skill. Just regular shot. First wager. Money, power, position. Everything can be wagered. An online gambling program developed by the Gerard Group to provide dice game services for players who have difficulty showing up at offline games. Let's go gambling! Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it. So what's the prize for, like, clearing everything on heroic? Texas Hold'em, blackjack, electronic dice, slot machines, roulette tables. They really do have everything here. The illumination from the luxurious decorations and lurid lighting melt together as gamblers move back and forth between tables, lost in this hollow enjoyment. Oh boy, is it hollow! Chongju and Cheetah dart between the crowd, searching for a clue about how to get to the basement 1 deck. Those 2 rich patrons I saw at the bar earlier are gone. Leader, look! Do you think they went there? Chongju looks where Cheetah is pointing. A pair of black-suited guards are standing in front of a grand-looking door. The door seems quiet and sedate compared to the liveliness of the rest of the casino. There's something written on it. Let me see. VIP area, only for guests with gold chips. Wow, what's this VIP area? And what are those gold chips? Is there a super casino in there or something? When that wealthy guest mentioned a special event, he flashed a stack of chips which looked like they were made of gold. It looks really suspicious. Looks like we'll need to think of a way to get in there. Cheetah, how much cash do you have on hand that we can exchange for chips? Right now? About 500 credits worth, I guess. But leader, that's the last of my candy fund. Could you help make up the rest for me? I don't have much cash on hand either. All we can do is hope that gold chips don't cost too much to redeem. Chongju and Cheetah pull their cash and then head to the casino's cage. Welcome, ladies. Will you be buying chips tonight? How much are the gold chips? The dealer smiles and pulls back the red cloth inside the cage, gesturing to the labeled numbers below. It is as you see. 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros. Holy cow! 5 zeros? So each one is 100 grand? That's insane! You might as well just grab a gun and rob people at this point. Chongju ignores Cheetah's protest. Her expression is one of serenity. Understood. I'll buy 2,000 credit worth of chips for now. Thank you. Cheetah squeezes the 2 little chips they just bought in her fist and drags Chongju off in the corner of the casino. Clearly, she has something to say. Is this actually happening, leader? Did our money disappear just like that? And even after all that, we only got these 2 measly little chips. Are you seriously planning to win 100,000 credits with a stake of 2,000? I was, actually. Just flat yes. Huh? Are you for real? Then we should just hold up everyone here. It would be faster that way. I mean, when it comes to gambling, we'll be totally screwed if we lose just once, right? Cheetah, you've forgotten the most important thing. What's that? You mean like how we can claim anything we lose from caretakers as a business expense? No. What's important is that we won't lose. Saying so, Chongju takes the chips from Cheetah before flipping them up into the air and neatly catching them. We are dolls, and that is why we will not lose. For a moment, Cheetah stares blankly at the gleaming confidence in Chongju's eyes. Then she gets what Chongju is hinting at. A wicked grin spreads across Cheetah's face as she rubs up against Chongju. I get it. So you're gonna cheat then, is that, leader? Is that it, leader? It's not cheating, just leveraging our advantages as dolls. Chongju looks at the card tables in the distance. I was observing how the tables were distributed in the casino. Each one has 5 dealers and a supervisor, and they have IR scanners under each table to keep players from cheating. We probably won't have much luck trying to pull off sleight of hand at the gambling tables. The slot machines are fully automatic and appear to be a good choice, But there are too many punters around them, and there's no way we can do anything with so many eyes watching. Huh? Doesn't that mean we're out of options? We still have this. Chongju exchanges a look with Cheetah. And then they approach one of the electronic tables. Upon detecting someone nearby, a mechanical arm lifts a touchscreen and presents it to the pair. Chongju taps it, and the edges of the table light up. The hologram of a virtual dealer appears over the center of the table and bows to them. Gambler ruin. But they're gonna cheat. There's no ruin if they're gonna cheat. Esteemed guest number 03425, welcome to the Carnival Cubic DB01 online entertainment system. Please select the game you would like to play and insert your chips into the slot on the right. During the game, please refrain from striking, damaging, or attempting to disassemble the machine. Since it's a network device, we should be able to hack it through level 2. The plan is to stop the data pertaining to failures and only let the successful data through. Oh, so you're saying we can directly access the casino network and mess with the results. Precisely. The Gerard Group provided a special service for gamblers who had difficulties going to offline casinos, but it's turning out to be a godsend for us instead. Chongju smiles and slips her chips into the machine. The dice on the screen begin spinning at high speed. Let's go for the mode with the simplest rules, high and low. I estimate 6 rounds should be enough for us to go from 2,000 to 100,000 credits. Why don't we maintain the signal spoofing for longer? Wouldn't that be better? We'll trigger system alerts if we do it for too long. It's less risky this way. All we need to do is work fast in level 2. Are you ready, Cheetah? The game is about to begin. Come on! This genius has been waiting for this! Let's go gambling! Are these the dice programs for the Carnival Cubic? They're small and square and pretty cute. Cheetah, don't get careless. I can only spoof the error signals for a few rounds. We need to take care of this as soon as possible. She's so short! So that means we can gain points but not lose them. Relax, leader. I won't hold you back. Playing games is serious business for me. Okay, oh. Okay, so it's preset. We can only pick these two. Okay, sure. Okay, let's see. Selects a Carnival Cubic, roll a dice. 4, 5, 6, 30,000 points. Okay, so... What's the plan here? All in. Let's see. Selects one tile within 4 tiles. Roll on all the Carnival Cubics. Gains 20,000 points. All in. Low. All in high. Sensible betting high. Sensible betting low. Okay! Let's go gambling! Two, 1, 6. Not bad. Alright. Wait, what's this one? High. Okay. Okay, this rolled low. Maybe we'll go low again. Yeah! Correct. Alright. Alright. I know there's no rhyme or reason to this. So I'm just doing whatever. 6, 5, 5. Oh my god. Bam! Let's go gambling! The spinning die gradually slows down, eventually comes to a halt with a 6 facing up. The Carnival Cubic machine plays upbeat music. Ding ding ding! Congratulations on winning again, guest number 03425. Do you wish to continue betting? We scored the 100k we need. Let's wrap things up. Chongju clicks the quit button, and a flood of chips pours out the chute amidst the sound of clinks and beeps. Wow! Leader! Leader, we're rich! Huh? Cheetah takes out a sole golden chip from the pile. Its mass takes her by surprise. Wait a minute. I think this chip is made from actual gold. Is the Gerard Group giving these out just like that? Well, 100,000 credits is pretty close to the price you pay for actual gold. Is that how it is? Then this place is a gold mine! I wish we had more time to earn more, then we could hand it over to Caretaker's caretaker. Beep beep beep. Cheetah's muttering is interrupted by an alert. Chongju turns away to take Tololo's call. Leader, the cruise ship has come to a halt in a bay that's surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. A bay that's fenced in by mountains. Choosing such a well-hidden location suggests that their special event isn't something they want others to see. That's what Miss Hellion said too. She sent 2 support echelons and a helicopter over. We're currently shadowing the liner. If anything happens, we'll be able to support you ASAP. Alright, be careful. Don't let the external guards spot you. Understood. We've also finished analyzing the vessel's structure. I'll send you a 2D map to you later. Once you find Lin, you can evac by following the indicated route. I'll pick you up on the deck. Good work, Tololo. You're almost as efficient as this genius. Huh? Why isn't anyone talking? After a brief silence, Tololo awkwardly clears her throat. Also, I learned something about the matter you asked me to investigate. What'd you find out? The Novalis belongs to a toy company. It's a place that the company uses to host charity events, and many media outlets have reported on it. Its CEO, Madame Celia, would often bring her son Carl to these events. The toys Carl created have also made the news. The heir to a toy company. In other words, that Mr. Holtz. That's right. Carl's full name is Carl Holtz. The contact information he gave to Griffin was correct. But why would someone who runs a charity want to kidnap Lind? Also, the inside of this boat is about as far as non-profit as you can get. You're right. It isn't connected to charity at all, because Madame Celia passed away from an illness 6 years ago, and her toy company went down with her. Currently, the ownership of the liner has been transferred to Carl's father, Yakov. Oh, I remember that name. He was that jerk who was building robots for the Gerard Group. So you're saying this kidnapping was masterminded by a father and son duo? Something's not quite right. After putting together all the information Tololo has given, Chongju falls silent for a while. Since Carl's father is a Gerard Group researcher, he ought to have a way to get those berserk robots under control. Why did he go out of his way to get a PMC to clean up his mess? Could he have been trying to get us to pick up that ID card? That would make it even weirder. Given the Gerard Group's wealth and power, they would definitely have access to in-house paramilitary forces. They wouldn't need to hire criminals like the Varyagers, and they most certainly wouldn't need to resort to such a roundabout means to kidnap Lind. The most likely possibility is that Carl didn't want to draw the group's attention, and all this was simply a personal initiative. So you're saying Yakov doesn't know about this? Indeed. Everything's been going smoothly all night, from boarding the vessel to the ID check. Even the ship's security forces have been replaced by robots for the most part. I think it's less that he doesn't know, and more like he isn't even on the ship at all. Both sides of the line go silent. Well, even if we know all this, we still don't know what the kidnappers are trying to accomplish. There's still too much we don't know. All we can do is head down to the basement 1 deck and see if we can find more clues there. Yep, seeing is believing after all. Let's go, go, go! Hey! Thank you for the raid, Kata. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Thunderbird Prime, Master of VTuber, and tonight we're playing through Girls Frontline 2, Exilium, and trying to raise money for Movember, as you can see from the donation link in the pinned comment. How was your stream, Kata? Let's see. Shout out Scrap King Kata. Trails in the Sky. I think I have those games on my Steam wishlist. It's just going to be a long time before I get to those. After ending the transmission with Tololo, Chongju and Cheetah arrive at the door marked VIP area. Next time you play Trails SC, I beat it. Nice. Can we go in? One moment, please. The security guard takes the gold chip and presses it to a sensor on the door. There is a beep, then the door slowly slides open, revealing a lavishly decorated elevator. Please proceed, ladies. It's a lift. Looks like our guest was on the mark. I hope we'll be able to see Lin soon. The pair entered the elevator while holding these thoughts in their hearts. The heavy doors separate the inside and the outside like a wall. There is a muffled commotion from behind the door, as though the sound is being muffled by some invisible membrane. As the feeling of weightlessness from the elevator's descent grows, the noise becomes clearer. Until the elevator comes to a halt and the doors slowly open. Doll fights, doll fights, doll fights! Shouts and screaming fill the air, and a mix of sweat, blood, and stimulants hits them in the face like a physical blow. What on earth is this place? Unlike the brightly lit first floor, Basement 1 is dim with blood-red lighting. In the center is a huge circular arena, surrounded by maniacal fans. Their formal attire cannot hide the bloodlust in their eyes. The sound of cheers and curses blend together, as though this is their paradise of release. And in the arena, a red doll and a blue doll are engaged in combat. The payout odds for both sides fluctuate on the overhead screen, and the shifting numbers have the audience in their grasp. It's as though the entire Basement 1 deck is in the grip of some indescribable frenzy. How? How could this be happening? Don't tell me they kidnapped Lin to... Oh! Suddenly, an ear-splitting cheer comes from the crowd. Chongju and Cheetah look toward the arena. The red doll has her foot firmly planted on the blue doll's head, and the shiny floorboards reflect her crushed, distorted face. The red doll raises her sword high, aims for her opponent's shoulder joint, and forcibly drives her weapon home. Ah! The blue doll's right arm is parted from the rest of her body, and she rolls several meters away, coming to a halt at the edge of the arena. The disarmed blue doll curls up on the ground, moaning in pain. The doll's pitiful cries are immediately drowned out by the cheers of the audience. In the very next moment, the big screen above the ring zooms in on the red doll's cold eyes. Well, that's a surprise! I don't think that's actually Krolik. I am calling bullshit on this. Oh wait, I can get more collapse pieces. Oh, it's this thing. Blind bet. Violence that can't be hidden. Disgust that can't be held back. Oi! You awake? Lin's blank eyes open. She turns her head jerkily towards the voice. Protocol activated. Target identification module successfully loaded. Awake then, are you? Carl presses a button on his remote. There's a crisp click, and the bindings on the electric chair disengage. Stand up and walk around. Lin stands up and mechanically walks around the room, then awaits Carl's next command. Turn in place, then sit back down. After seeing Lin execute his commands to the letter, Carl claps his hands in delight. I didn't think the beta virus would be so effective. Even a rushed copy of 45% of the code segments is still enough to control a doll's neural cloud. No wonder those defects in the arenas all fight like they're possessed once they get infected by it. Why did Dad sit on such good stuff like this instead of giving it to me? Good stuff? I was just pretending to space out and he totally fell for it. Seems a bit too easy, doesn't it? Talk about a stupid moron of a Nepo baby. Once again, Lynn lambasts Carl's intelligence in the confines of her mind. Forget it. This actually helps bypass all kinds of problems. I might be able to get him to spill the beans on something too. That data assault on my level 2 just now was massive. If I hadn't fought back in time, my neural cloud would really have been overwritten. Was it because the virus code was incomplete? Still, wasn't this virus targeted toward Gerard dolls? I was built by IOP, so why was it effective against me? Could it be that Gerard dolls use the same base layer technology as IOP dolls? Before Lynn can reach a conclusion, Carl gives her another order. Oi, doll, come here. I'll tell you about the arena rules and your opponent tonight. Here it comes. Let me see what exactly you're up to. Lynn walks over to Carl's side. While Lynn was mentally prepared for what she might see in an arena, the sight before her still hits her hard. The screen shows a camera feed. In it, a red-colored doll with bunny ears is visually chopping a doll on the ground to bits. It exemplifies cruelty, violence, and savagery. Just about every frame of the video maxes out Lynn's tolerance for disgust. As you can see, there are no rules in the doll arena. You can use any means to attack and freely destroy your opponent's frame. Simply put, whoever reduces their opponent to scrap first wins. Carl pushes the pause button. The feed is frozen on an image of the moment when the red doll cuts her opponent in half at the waist. This is your opponent tonight, Krolik, who's known as K09 here. When a certain underground doll arena was all the rage in the green zones, she was one of the 2 most popular fighters there. Do you know why that is? Melee combat dolls are rare enough for starters, and her brutal fighting style was most entertaining. And of course, the more thrilling the show, the more the audience loved it. Unfortunately, the real Krolik escaped during an accident 8 years ago, and it was her partner, the other most popular fighter there, who helped her flee. Even though they usually tried their best to kill each other in the ring, they decide to be all buddy-buddy at a time like that. Huh. Dolls make me sick. Despite being created by humans, all they think about is betraying humanity. Yeah, forget it. Why am I even telling a doll like you all this? Carl throws up his hands in exasperation. The organization's finances haven't been doing too well recently, so in order to whet the investors' appetite, Dad modified one of Krolik's replica frames into the K09 unit. It preserves the original Krolik's fighting style to the maximum extent. Even her swing force is a 1-to-1 match. Unsurprisingly, K09 is undefeated in the arena. It's won 22 consecutive matches so far, and its total winnings are a jaw-dropping amount. This is why I brought you here. I want you to replace the K09, become the new king of the ring. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? What? So it was for such a stupid reason. That's why I hate unreasonable violence. It takes great effort for Lynn to suppress her desire to throw up. No, now's not the time to fight back. If the commander were here, or even just leader, they'd tell me not to be impulsive. I need to stay calm. The way you are now makes it hard for you to tell how much is actually getting through. If you understand, repeat what I just said. Understood. My mission is to help you destroy the doll that your dear father went to all that effort to build. Yes, good. Carl nods in satisfaction. That tone, though, it sounds strange. Is sarcasm a factory default setting for you? Never mind, it doesn't matter. As long as you blow K09 apart with your shotgun, the audience will go crazy over you and you'll become the new star of the underground, with countless fans and followers. Meanwhile, I'll have the grounds to talk terms with Father. I'll have proven that I can influence the family business, and that I'm the one with the most deserves to operate Mother's cruise liner. How's that? Isn't that a win-win plan worthy of a genius? Carl Carl looks at Lynn's blank face and seems a little disappointed. Father was like this too. He'd rather mock me or ignore me every day. Huh. Go ahead and talk. Doesn't matter if you're sarcastic or not. This is just too boring. For instance, don't you have any questions you want to ask me? Right, just ignore those unnecessary orders and ask what you want. You just said that having me get rid of K09 was just one of your goals, right? So firepower wasn't the real reason you picked me. Of course. If I just wanted a fighter, buying a tactical doll from the black market would have been simple enough. But the arena isn't a battlefield. It's ultimately just a form of entertainment. The performance aspects of it are more important than the fighting elements. Like pain, for instance. Carl chuckles, then taps the ULSD dossier on his table. I know you are an experimental unit with simulated sensory organs, and your ability to perceive pain is beyond anything other dolls can match, let alone these fighters. Most of them are defects Father produced in the process of producing third-generation dolls. Most don't even have mature NeuroCloud modules loaded. They're failures in every sense of the word. While the beta virus does have a side effect of amplifying sensory feedback, they can only respond mechanically, which is far from what research-grade work demands. So even pain can become an object of scientific study. If the audience wants it, nothing is impossible. Oh, you should watch this. We'll be working together for a good long time anyway, so the more you understand, the better. The scene on the monitor changes to a video log of an experiment. A shabbily dressed man is tied to a wooden rack, and a group of researchers in white coats are surrounding him. Commencing experiment number GR00237, now collecting data on edged implement injury. The researcher raises his scalpel and jabs it into the test subject. Blood sprays out and covers the screen. The test subject's screams echo through the chamber, while the researchers look down at their clipboards and scribble notes, as though all this was just a footnote to completing their experiment. Experiment number GR00237 Control Group. Begin procedure. The scene shifts. The test subject is now a doll. A researcher jabs his scalpel into the doll's arms, once, twice, over and over again, until he has produced suffering like what the human endured. What? Why? Why were they doing this? Lynn feels her NeuroCloud temperature spiking. If what she saw before was merely nauseating, what she's looking at now, it fills her with utter boiling rage. The image of the test subject doll defocuses, disintegrates, then comes back together before her eyes, over and over again. The lingering pain from the virus awakens, traveling through her frame until it converges on her right arm. It's as though the scalpel has passed through the screen and stabbing through her synth skin. Ow, that hurts. The last time I felt it was when... Lynn squeezes her eyes shut. Memories pour in like a tide. Those days and nights laced with the scent of antiseptics and all the helplessness and misery suddenly feel exceptionally real to her. She remembers the blindingly bright surgical lights, the ice-cold slab, the aloof looks of the researchers' faces, and the way she curled up from the pain. She remembers the questions she used to ponder back then. What did I feel back then when I was chosen as a test subject? Was it despair? Fear? Discontent? No. Back then, I wasn't even self-aware enough to ask myself these things. I even thought that my pain was the whole reason I existed. Just like these test subjects and these arena fighters, they're being treated as tools to be used and discarded by their masters, and I think it's perfectly natural. But I know better now. I know this isn't right. I met people who showed me the truth, given their all with correct words and correct actions, in order to show what was done to me was wrong. Lynn recalls the faces of many people. The Commander, Kalina, Hellion, the others from Frostfall, and many others beside, all friends she had the privilege of sharing her life with. If she hadn't met them, she would probably still be trapped in a place like this, existing only to suffer like in this video. So this time, it's my turn to... Just then, Carl's voice chimes in, taking Lynn out of her thoughts back to reality. Hey, you haven't moved a muscle for 3 whole minutes. What's the matter? Did you blue screen or something? Was that virus too strong? Did it burn out your neurocloud or something? Crap. Hope not. That would be really bad. Knock, knock, knock. A series of rapid knocks interrupts his words, and a waiter's voice speaks from outside the door. Master Carl, your father just called. It would be best if you attended to it immediately. What? Carl's face falls instantly. He rushes over to the door and flings it open. The waiter on the other side is startled by the forcefulness of his actions. What did he say? Your father sounded quite angry and said he was on the way back, so I was worried that he might have found out about your plan. Didn't he go to Lviv with his staff to prepare for the technical summit? Didn't he say it was very important? How could he spare the time to come back? I'm not very sure. Damn it, damn it, damn it! It's always ruining things for me at the most important moment. Take me to the deck right now and think of a way to delay him. The door slams shut with a loud bang, and the voices of Carl and the waiter gradually fade into the distance. Lynn breathes a sigh of relief. And here I was thinking about how to get rid of that arrogant young master. That phone call sure came in time. After that, Lynn connects herself to the command console and begins planning her next move. Fortunately, I still have the virus data that I copied from the mansion robots. Since the robots going out of control was caused by a virus, then uploading it to all the security robots on the ship through the central command console should trigger an uprising too. Once they all go berserk, I'll wait for the right moment to lead the dolls out of here and make our escape. Lynn looks at the clock on the wall and endlessly progressing flow of time. While there are still many variables in the plan, given the situation, she'll just have to take things one step at a time. I don't have time to decrypt the security routine. I'll just break through it by force. Alright! Lose no more than one unit. Target interaction. Alright, we just gotta force our way through. Okay. Cute. Alright. Rush the point. Alright. Alright, let's break these barricades. That was not expecting the boss enemy to just go down so fast. Oh, that's a lot of corrosion. Oh well. Yeah, that barely hurts. Hey, look at that. It's almost as if. I can do this, and hit that, and that. Really? You just made this easier for me. You made this so much easier for me. Like, seriously. Wait, what are the missions? Lose no more than one unit, win with 6 turns, achieve victory. Okay, well. Victory achieved. If only Leader and the others were here. Doing this by myself is a pain. Fortunately, the virus is already doing its thing. A few more minutes and the ship's defense systems will be completely paralyzed. Maybe I can use this time to find the exact locations of the imprisoned dolls. Let me see. The database should be here, right? Ah, found it. It's a blueprint of the ship's internal layout. Or are these ships next to it? Encrypted documents. Can't open them. I'll just copy them all and worry about them later. The hour hand on the room's clock has traveled quite some distance. The sound of hard leather shoes on metal passes is audible through the door, accompanied by Carl's cursing. You useless bastard! Why'd you make such a big fuss even though nothing happened? As the master of the Novalis, I order you to bring my match forward right now. But. No buts! I don't care what the back-end people have to say about it either. You will begin the match before Father returns. Crap. The Carl guy's back. Copy proc is 97. 98. Lynn's fingers fly across the keyboard, her eyes darting between the monitor and the door faster and faster. Come on, just a little more. The progress bar fills up with a beep. Lynn closely quits the control terminal, then takes a deep breath before quickly returning to her previous position. Carl storms in, then quickly glances around the room several times, but finds nothing amiss. Then he glares at Lynn. Are you awake? Protocol activated. Target identification module successfully loaded. Seeing Lynn wake up from offline status soothes Carl's frazzled nerves somewhat. Seriously, screw that old fart. He keeps messing up my plans. I was planning to work on tactics, but the situation has changed and it looks like we don't have time for that now. Our match has been brought forward. We're up next. Just as well. The virus should kick in around that time. Alright, I'll play with you then. Ignorant of Lynn's intentions, Carl takes a deep breath. Then his confident smile returns to his face. Let's go. It's time we made our entrance. Woo! Alright. Alright. Absurd Carnival. As the spotlights shine down, the clowns' masks finally come off. Krolek 09, K09. Wow, there's a copy of Krolek. Still kind of getting over that fact. Bang. The red doll easily evades the last shot. The blue doll loses its other arm and stumbles back, its neck spewing sparks. The red doll lunges forward, swinging her sword at the blue doll's vitals and delivering a fatal blow. Ugh! In the next moment, the blue doll keels over, and the red doll ruthlessly stomps her underfoot. With the battle decided, the roars from the audience grow louder and louder, waves of sound echoing inside the compartment. Finish her! Finish her! Finish her! Finish her! Target destruction command. Load complete. Yeah! The red doll drives her hand into the blue doll's chest, and with a burst of strength, she rips out her opponent's still glowing heart. There's a crunch of electronic components splintering, then the arena is filled with deafening screams. Ah! In response to the audience's cries, the red doll raises the fragments of her opponent's heart into the air. Then she turns and vanishes backstage. Leader, what was the purpose of bringing all those dolls aboard this ship? Was it just so they could be thrown into this underground arena? I can't accept this. This is too much. How could something like this happen? I didn't expect the people behind the doll arenas to still be going strong. Looks like that crackdown operation from back then didn't get rid of them. What do you mean by crackdown operation? Were there places like this before? Yes. I heard that doll arenas like this used to be really popular in green zones for a while. Back then, they were run by mobsters, and the purchase, modification, and smuggling of dolls on the black market was very common. But ever since StateSec began their doll arena crackdown operation in 2067, such organizations began to decline, and the government began strengthening regulation of the use of technical dolls. From the looks of things, they're back. They just fled to the border between green and yellow zones. So those jerks from back then were walking around without caring the world now? This isn't right! We can't be sure. Perhaps the mobsters were replaced by the Gerard group. Perhaps both sides reached an agreement to split the profits. The one thing we do know is that the people in charge of the arena now are the Gerard group, with their massive influence, power, and resources. The casino above us. No. I should say this entire cruise liner exists for the sake of underground doll arena. Chongju looks toward the ring. Workers are clearing out the doll wreckage from the arena. The sight makes Chongju's voice more somber. There's no telling how many dolls have suffered like that in this place. We were lucky to be able to live under the protection of Griffin, but we simply didn't know enough about the dark side of civilized society. Now that you mention it, since this cruise is for members only, all the people it serves are definitely wealthy or powerful, right? Maybe Gerard uses places like these to gain political leverage on them. Correct. I'm sure there are many deeply hidden dealings here that we haven't discovered yet. Damn it! I wish I could reveal all their bad deeds to the world. Hey! Who turned out the lights? Suddenly, the lights above the audience seats go out one after another, from the outside inwards. In the darkness, a shaft of blinding light descends from above, illuminating the host.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MV Novalis. Our Queen of the Ring, K09, will be taking a short rest, and she will return to give you an exciting show later on. To all our guests who wish to wager on the outcome, please proceed to the right side of the ring within 10 minutes and place your bets with your gold chips on hand.
No wonder you need gold chips to get into this place. So that's what they're for.
I'm sure many of our honored guests have lost their dolls during the course of tonight's arena matches, and as such, we have a special offer for you. All guests who have fielded contenders against K09 tonight are entitled to a free trial of the group's latest batch of prototypes, codenamed GNL Beta, and enjoy the highest possible discounts tonight should they decide to purchase them. The host claps, and a carefully crafted advertisement trailer appears on the big screen. Rows of specially modified dolls walk into the frame, ranging from domestic models to entertainment types to everything else in between, each of a different make and appearance. The only thing these dolls have in common is that they all have the same empty eyes as K09 does. As you can see, the dolls from the GNL Beta patch have blank neural clouds, and their default beta programming makes them completely obedient to your instructions. That means they won't complain, won't refuse orders, and they definitely won't betray you. You can customize them to suit your personal preferences and needs, or allow them to be freely used. Of course, domestic models will have all combat functionality removed, so you can rest assured that your product is absolutely safe.
Oh, does that mean they won't even try to fight back?
Of course.
The host's voice slowly fades away, only to be replaced by twisted cheers and shouts from the audience. Some people are already planning how to make full use of their new acquisitions. All kinds of deviant discussions filter through the air and make their way to Chongju's and Cheetah's ears. Holy crap! Are these people all perverts? I can't take it anymore. Leader, can I go and teach them all a lesson? Calm down, Cheetah. We haven't found Lind yet. Also, we learned something from that little speech just now. At the very least, we know now why the dolls in the arena all seem so strange. Turns out they were under the control of a virus. We need to prepare for the possibility that Lind has also been controlled by that virus. Snap. The spotlights come in again, illuminating the freshly cleaned ring.
Alright. After the short intermission, it's time for what we've all been waiting for. Since our next contender will be using firearms, we urge all guests to stay beyond the boundary line lest you be injured by stray rounds. Light red panes of bulletproof glass rise from the area around the ring, blocking it off from the audience. And now, introducing the Queen of the Ring and her challenger.
As the audience cheers, the spotlights focus on and follow a crimson doll as she slowly walks into the ring. It is K09, sword in hand. And then, a shaft of dazzling light shines down on the right side of the arena, framing a purple doll who's holding a familiar shotgun. Leader! That's Lind! Cheetah, try to establish comms with Lind right now. At this range, we should be able to contact her using our squad channel. Beep beep. The transmission goes through, but Lind's face remains blank and she does not respond. What should we do, Leader? I think Lind's really been taken over by whatever virus. Can't be helped. We'll just have to go to her ourselves. I'll ask Tolo to make the necessary preparations. Cheetah, get ready to back me up. Lind's safety is our top priority. This next fight sucks on heroic. I can imagine. Hello? Hello? Leader, I'm not getting a reply from Lin's communicator. Not good. They're about to attack. Cheetah, pay attention to the enemy's movements. We need to step in and provide support if Lin is in danger. Alright, alright, Where are the walls? That is not a wall. That's not a wall. But hey, she's weak to Lin, specifically. Wow. Okay. 50 stability, though. That's no joke. And, huh. Yeah, there's, no walls. There's barely any walls. So she could just run straight through and just cause havoc. Alright. This is probably like the dumbest thing ever. Or not. I'm pretty sure this is much tougher on heroic. Okay, what is heroic? What do they give? Heroic mode enemies will scale dynamically. Receive a name card tag. I don't know if that's worth. Oh god, now it's Krolik with more. Oh. Sugared misery. Even when someone with a painful past can still move forward for the sake of protecting others. Sea of Ashes. Years of pent-up resentment are engulfed by flames in the sea. Kaboom, baby! A hot load of shot hits the floor with the arena. Metal balls ricochet off the bulletproof glass and crack spiderweb everywhere. Upon seeing Lin's attack missed, K09 quickly whirls her blade around, converting her swing to a thrust aimed directly at Lin's chest. Lin steps diagonally backward and barely avoids the strike, but K09's sword's tip grazes her arm and leaves a dark red wound. That hurts! Fortunately, my tactile BDU is made of strong material, so only my synth skin got nicked. Otherwise, I might have lost my entire arm. K09 clearly doesn't anticipate her opponent avoiding her otherwise fatal blow, because she freezes up in surprise. However, she quickly changes her stance and resets her sword, ready to launch another attack. Lin's feet keep moving, and she dodges a series of attacks before pulling away to make some space between them. Why is she so damn fast? Is she actually a rabbit or something? She's been on me like Sabrina on dinner ever since the battle began! Oh my god, Sabrina catching strays! I haven't had a chance to counterattack at all. Even if it's because of the beta virus. That kind of tenacity is just scary. Lin carefully studies K09's every move as she works to get to her breathing under control, while shifting her center of balance and keeping her finger on the trigger. Don't panic. Leader and Cheetah are in the audience. All I need to do is draw this out until the robots go berserk. I'll open fire the next time she rushes me. She should be able to find an opening then. Now! Look, I just tried to emulate Sayaka Ohara's screams. Like whenever you pick Krolik to attack. I just tried to imitate that. The moment she sees K09 raise her sword, Lin pulls the trigger without hesitation. A wall of shots spews from her gun's barrel and slams into K09's weapon with the crisp sound of metal on metal. Although K09 evades most of the metal balls with preternatural speed, one of them manages to punch through her shoulder. Surprisingly enough, K09 completely ignores her shoulder injury and brings her blade down on Lin's head with a cleaving chop. Lynn rolls back and out of the way, once again evading the attack by the skin of her teeth. No wonder Carl said something about wanting to improve the beta's virus sensory side effects. She's clearly nowhere as sensitive to pain as I am. How is that even fair? Can't be helped. Time to go full auto on her. We'll just have to fix your frame once we get out of here. Lynn takes a deep breath, then decides to max out her power output. A current of red-hot lead instantly blocks off the way ahead of her. K-09 steps aside and dodges each and every pellet headed her way. Then she reverses her grip on her sword and rushes Lynn. Once she determines that K-09 is within range, Lynn focuses her fire on K-09's lower body. K-09 loses her balance as she takes a hit to her right leg, which supports her frame. Lynn jumps over her, pressing the off-balance K-09 to the ground with her elbow and pressing the muzzle of her gun against K-09's head with her other hand. That ought to settle her now. However, K-09 chooses this moment to erupt with tremendous force. She punches up with the back of her blade, knocking away the gun on her head before slamming her right knee into Lynn's chest and taking her by surprise. Ugh! Pain radiates through Lynn's chest as she staggers back while panting heavily. Damn it. It hurts so bad I can't see straight. Although her vision is blurry now, Lynn still strives to right her balance while opening fire in K-09's direction. Soon, the Auto 12 she's holding clicks as its hammer falls on an empty chamber. K-09 dashes up in front of Lynn, her sword held high. Lynn! Then K-09's hand suddenly freezes in midair. The lights above her suddenly flash, and the bulletproof glass around the ring slowly lowers. The entire arena is filled with a bizarre silence. Then the sound of mechanical whirring comes from all around them. Cheetah, now, support Lynn! Their guns blaze fire as bullets hit the ground under K-09's feet, driving her back. Then, as though they've received some kind of signal, every single robot in the arena begins opening fire indiscriminately. The members of the Yanin scream and flee in all directions. Amidst the chaos, Chongju and Cheetah hear Lynn's voice over the communicators. Looks like luck was on our side in the end. Lynn, it's you! You mean you weren't taken over by whatever the virus thing? Thank goodness! I thought you were really finished just now. Finish my ass. Don't jinx me. Lynn gets up and dusts herself off, changing out a new drum of ammo as she does. Then she vaults over the arena's fencing and returns to Frostfall squad. Welcome back, Lynn. Chongju and Cheetah smile as they meet her gaze. Then they pivot and wordlessly take up defensive formation. Where's Tololo? I'll tell you along the way. Right now, we're going to follow the route she's planned and get out of here. The sooner the better. We can't use the elevator anymore, so we'll need an alternative route. In other words, we'll have to go through the back of the yawn seating, follow a supply corridor, then use it to reach the main deck. Cheetah, prepare to fall back. No problem, leader. Leave it to me. Cheetah pulls a flashbang out of her waist pocket, pulls the pin on it, then throws it on the ground. Smile for the camera! A blinding flash of light envelops the arena, and K-09 is forced to shield her eyes. When she can finally open them, all K-09 can see is the trio running into the back of the seating area. Automatic loading. Pursuit command. Target identification. Successful. Still looking in the direction where the trio have fled, K-09 stands up once again and gives chase. Wait, so Mr. Arrogant Young Master went to all that effort to capture you because he wanted you to fight for him? Cheetah's exclamation is so loud it echoes through the hall. A bunch of security troopers come in to investigate, but a hail of fire forces them to take cover behind the pillars. As Lynn shoots, she gives Cheetah a "give me a break" look. Hello, we're still trying to escape here. Can you keep it down? But things ended up this way because he half-assed everything. Strictly speaking, it wasn't just because of that, but I don't have the time to elaborate now. Cheetah, help me lay down some covering fire. I have something to tell Leader. No problem. This time, I'll protect you, Lynn. Cheetah flashes an OK sign, then moves up to the head of the formation. Just then, a transmission from Tololo comes in. Leader, head right at the fork up ahead, and you'll see the corridor leading to the deck. Understood. Lynn, what is it that can't wait until we get up there? Sorry, leader. But in a sense, this is the last chance I'll get for this. Lin takes a deep breath, then looks at the fork up ahead. I managed to interface with their systems in the liner's main control room. And I found their exact locations. That is, the dolls being controlled by the arena staff. I want to take them with us. What? Where are they being held? Area D3 on the port side. Tolo, calculate a route there. Roger. The reply from Tolo comes in less than a minute later. The left path from the fork ahead leads to Area D3, the exact opposite way from the exit, and ship security is closing on the location. It would be a risky course of action. If Gerard Group reinforcements arrive quicker than we can move, things will be even worse. What do you want to do, leader? Chongju doesn't reply, only tapping her terminal with her index finger. Lin, I'm fairly sure you've prepared yourself for this possibility. But I must remind you that if we choose to commit to this course of action, we might not be able to complete the objective or ensure everyone's safety. Even so, do you still wish to proceed? Yeah. I can't do it by myself. So I need you, Cheetah, Tololo. I need all of Frostfall to help me out. You don't say things like this often. There's a short silence. Chongju looks Lin in the eye, as though she's come to a decision. Understood. Change of plans, Frostfall Squad. We're heading to Area D3 to rescue the captured dolls. Lin blinks in surprise as she stares at her squad leader. The mental image she's always had of Chongju is someone who has always been cautious and diligent. Yet, she has agreed readily to Lin's request. Lin can see a trust which needs no justification in Chongju's eyes. Oh? So we're going to be a doll saviors now? Awesome! I've always wanted a halo! Tolo, help us draft up another route that helps us avoid ship security. Wilco. Lin, how many dolls are we taking out here? According to the data from the control room, there's about 170 of them. The more troublesome thing is that their neuroclasts have been wrecked by the beta virus. They may not listen to us anymore. Wait, so there are almost 200 of them, they might not even cooperate with us? We can't exactly cart them off one by one, right? Also, even assuming we got them into position to be evacuated, we wouldn't have the time or cabin space to evacuate them all. Chongju opens her terminal and begins thinking as she studies the ship's blueprints. The dolls are all at the stern of the vessel. If we could trap the enemy amidships, it would give us a lot more time to work in. Cheetah looks over at Chongju's shoulder and studies the map. Then she points at the red shaded area at the middle rear of the vessel. Leader, why don't we blow up the central fuel tank over here and cut the ship in half? That way we can separate the part where all the dolls are. Wait, you want to blow the ship in half? Do we even have anything powerful enough to do that? Have you forgotten this genius's forte? Cheetah produces a little ball out of nowhere and tosses it up, a wicked glint in her eyes. Ta-da! Behold, my remote bomb! At last, a place for it to see proper use. Anyway, give the order, leader. That bunny-eared doll is coming after us. Chongju's gaze hardened as she focuses on the incoming figure in red. She quickly judges the feasibility of the mission and makes a decision. Cheetah, plant the explosives at the central fuel tank. Watch for a chance to set it off, but only after Lin and I arrive. Got it! Tololo, contact Miss Hellion right now and have her send more backup. Once we scuttle the ship, we'll need people who can manage to move the part of the vessel where all the dolls are. Understood. Lin and I will stay here to lure the enemy to the other side of the ship. We'll buy time for Cheetah, Tololo, and other backup to arrive. Causing chaos should be Cheetah's strong suit, right? Still. Never mind. This sort of thing is alright from time to time. Lin reloads her Auto 12. Then focuses her gaze on the incoming K-09 before pulling the trigger. Her shotgun sprays a torrent of lead, blasting in huge chunks of the masterfully carved marble paneling. A column collapses with a deafening crash. K-09 is forced to stop as the fallen pillar blocks her path and blows up a huge cloud of dust. Aren't you good at running? Come catch us then. Alright. Okay. There's Krolik. Well, the fake Krolik. Alright. What's the plan? Oh. Huh, okay. Alright, let's see if this strategy works. Alright. We're gonna play a little unorthodox here. Da, 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 da. Da-da-da. And springy. Alright. Alright, don't extend too far, but... Alright. Alright. I did remember Jack saying he used, like, summons to block off Krolik's path and force her to go the long way. So that should work, hopefully. And then we bring up Andorus. Plant a turret here. Alright, that's 1, 2. I may have miscalculated this. 1, 2. That'll first go this way. But that doesn't close off any more spots. Alright. But that takes care of that. Alright. Gonna give Tololo a buff. And then... Should we be reckless or should we be cautious? Evacuate everyone. Where? Oh. Oh, we have to take care of this. We have to take care of this issue. Alright. Do like the vocals, though. I forgot what my combat effectiveness for Tololo is, but it's over 20k. Tololo and Chongju are right up there. Oh wait. Is that a secret item? I think that's a secret item. Alright. First off, you can go bye-bye. And move up. And do this. I'm pretty sure. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have to interact with this somehow. Shield time. Nope. Nothing for Niketa to do. But there's plenty of stuff for Tololo to do. Just take out everyone. Composite guard. More like composite dead. Bye. Like, what's there left to do? Not much. Right, there we go. Hidden supplies found. Time to retreat. They can't catch up. Like, we don't even have to take out everyone. We just have to get everyone out of here. What the hell? Nikita, what are you doing? Time to withdraw. Chongju and Lin use the terrain to mount hit-and-run attacks on K09 and their pursuers. They manage to strand them on the basement 1 deck and get them to the main deck on time. Game, did you freeze? There we go. It's almost time. Are Cheetah and Tololo ready yet? The plan's going smoothly and our backup is in place. Head to the pickup point now. The pair run towards the center of the ship, where they find Cheetah waving at them happily. Over here! Over here! This time I was faster than you and Lind. Aren't you going to praise me? Tolo, bring the chopper in. Prepare for extraction. Chongju pulls Cheetah behind her and looks up. Tololo pilots the chopper toward the 3 of them. It comes to a halt at the last moment, the rotors churning up waves off the surface of the water below. The cabin slides open, and Tololo pokes her head out to throw a rope ladder down to the 3 of them. Come on! Just then, there's a loud crash, and K09 bursts out from a nearby hatch, her eyes aglow with crimson rage. She tightens her grip on her sword and immediately lunges at the 3 dolls. Now, Cheetah, blow the charges! Just in time! Cheetah squeezes the button on her detonator, and her bombs detonate the central fuel tank. A massive column of flame shoots into the sky and dyes the darkened sky a dull red. The ship lurches heavily as it is cut in two. Fragments fly everywhere as the 2 halves keel over and begin sinking into the sea. K09's frame is sent flying by the shockwaves. She lands heavily on the stern of the vessel, while Frostfall uses his opportunity to scramble aboard the ladder. The helicopter climbs rapidly, rising high into the night sky. We did it! Lin can see Hellions' backup arriving by the light of the burning deck. The familiar, formerly dust-gathering tugboat is now towing away the stern of the vessel where the captured dolls are. Looks like we managed to rescue all those dolls, as well as that K09. Things went better than expected! We're lucky that our backup arrived before Gerard's forces did, but we can't get careless because of that. Tolo, activate EW stealth systems. We need to get out of here as soon as possible. Understood. Mission complete. Preparing to RTB. Tololo presses a button on the helicopter's control panel. It shimmers for a moment in the night sky. Then it projects a holographic image around itself. Several seconds later, the helicopter blends into the starry sky, vanishing into the darkness before the dawn. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ship, a bedraggled figure struggles to his feet before pounding on the locked room like a madman. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it! Carl jabs at his communicator. He presses so hard that his fingers have gone white from a lack of circulation. The door thuds heavily under his pounding. Father! Do you hear me? Mother's ship is about to sink! I know you must have some way to do it, so please, please save this ship. This is the last thing Mother left behind. Despite Carl's wail of despair, the only answer for the communicator is the sound of static. Just when he thinks there will be no reply. The person he is calling suddenly speaks in a quiet voice. Father, is that you? Thank God you answered. You'll save the ship, won't you? If I were you, I'd think of how to get out of that room first, rather than whine and cry about a boat when your life is in danger. It's just a tool for making money. Is it really that important? It doesn't matter if it's blown up or scuttled. Once something loses its value, it doesn't matter what happens to it. You're the only one who's so dedicated to something left behind by a corpse. No, it can't be. This is Mother's legacy. How can you care so little about it? Also, I'm still on the ship. I'm your son. You can't just abandon me now. Abandon you? Oh, I missed the gambling part. Let's go gambling! I completed it in 2 turns. I fumbled the first part and then Cheetah just came in clutch in turn 2. Yakov can't help but snort derisively at Carl's naive plea.
My biggest mistake was not abandoning you after realizing that Celia and I had raised you into a failure, and even going as far as to give you a chance after chance to prove yourself. Including this one.
What do you mean? Are you saying you already knew about my plan? But when did you...
What do you think? Did you really think you could have entered the main control room with just your meager access privileges? As it turns out, not letting you in was the right thing to do. I placed you in charge of things just once, and you fucked it all to hell. Not only did those PMC dolls run circles around you, they also managed to steal all the data in the main control room. And now, they even got their hands on over 170 gladiator dolls. Exactly what do you think qualifies you to talk terms with me? You are the one who sank the ship, and you did it with your own hands. Yakov's judgment is like a cold blade, sinking deep into Carl's heart. Carl clutches the communicator tightly, muttering to himself, unable to believe what he's hearing. No, it's not over yet. I can remotely trigger these dolls' self-destruct programming. I can destroy the evidence. We can still turn things around. Now I am completely certain that you're even more of a mindless idiot than those dolls. They blew up the remote control server with that chopper before they left. You have well and truly fucked things up now.
What?
Upon realizing there's no coming back from this, Carl slumps to the ground.
This isn't my fault. Those damn dolls were only able to take advantage of the situation because they didn't get the full beta virus. It's not my fault. If you just give me another chance.
Another chance. You still want another chance. The company's had its hands full dealing with Fabin recently. The CEO is tearing his hair out by the handfuls over them. Did you know that? And you choose now of all times to pull off a stunt like this. There will be no more chances for you.
Carl's mouth hangs open as he looks at the door that will not open for him. He does not even have the words to deny his father's words.
As a child, you fooled around with high-grade parts like they were toys. It was like watching a monkey with a Kalishnikov. After all these years, you're still the same as when Celia was around. You haven't grown a bit. You don't even qualify to be an obstacle for me, let alone my successor.
So, once something loses its value, it doesn't matter what happens to it. That includes me too, right?
If you were this smart each time, you wouldn't have ended up like this.
Yakov's words are casual, but they hit Carl like a punch to the gut. In Carl's memory, this is the first time his father has ever praised him. But it seems it will also be the last. No, you're my father. You wouldn't do this. Right? You won't do this to me, right? Everything I did was to make you proud. Ever since Mother died, I've been working hard all this time.
Don't bring up that mother of yours.
Yakov suddenly explodes with rage. His resentment that has festered for so many years is finally pouring out.
I wouldn't have even married that dumb bitch if she wasn't from the Orlok conglomerate. She made a fortune and all she did was sit on it, make a bunch of worthless toys or donating to charity. Not only did she criticize me for obtaining 16 Labs doll tech, she was even planning to reveal the secrets between me and the CEO to the public. And so she had to die, and good fucking riddance to her. And even after her death, she left someone like you behind. I've been living in her shadow for far too long. You should have died along with Celia.
What? So you're saying you killed Mother? Crack. The nearby portholes collapse under the force of the explosion, and glass rains down like hail. Carl's communicator falls to the ground, emitting a shrill error tone. Carl screams at it, but it will never answer him again, and the rolling flames consume his final words. You extinguish the sparks Mother left behind. Forward unto dawn. Strive toward while looking at the wounds of the past straight in the eye. That is the meaning of your suffering. Those are good words to live by. Maybe I can take a page from that book. Bribery records for government officials. Illegal doll transaction logs. Altered records for the ship's environmental emissions. The Gerard Group has quite the litany of sins to its name. Frostfall Squad is going through the data Lynn copied from the main control room. It is certainly quite impressive. There's a breakdown for the MV Novalis' income and expenditure here, too. Let me see. Wow, this is actually kind of scary. They make more in one day than our squad does in 1 month? It's just as we thought. The income from the entertainment was minuscule compared to the illegal betting on the doll arena. Well, we can now be completely certain that the Gerard Group was controlling and running the doll arena. They could make a killing from the black market and use that opportunity to utilize their otherwise defective dolls. The Gerard Group wins either way. The beta virus was probably developed for that purpose and tested on the arena dolls. Oh yeah! Speaking of which, don't you think we should get your frame checked out, Lind? It would be bad if there were traces of that virus left behind in your neural cloud. Don't worry. I'm not weak enough to be taken over by an incomplete virus. I'm more interested in why it works on IOP dolls. Wasn't it meant to target Gerard Group dolls? Lind? Are you saying you suspect that the Gerard Group stole 16 Labs doll technology? Lind nods. This virus isn't like normal programs. Its right locations and logic will require a target with highly similar base layer code for it to work. But if the base layer code were too similar, then it would essentially be intellectual property theft. If that's true, we can use the evidence from the doll arena as proof of the Gerard Group's crimes and make them pay for what they've done. Indeed. Even without the technology theft, just the proof of their crimes is enough to bring the Gerard Group to court. I'll contact Miss Hellion now. Once we get back, we'll verify the matter ASAP. I'm pretty sure what we found will help the commander and Miss Kalina out in some way. Chongju opens a comm channel to Hellion and begins sending over what she's learned. After receiving Hellion's reply, Chongju's stern expression softens considerably. I have good news. Miss Hellion managed to find a neutral organization that's willing to take in the dolls from the arena and help them clear out the remaining beta virus in their neural clouds. Really? That's great! They'll finally be able to shake off the Gerard Group's control. Additionally, the organization will provide them with counseling and support them as they reintegrate into human society. Not only will they be able to remove the Gerard Group's influence, these dolls will also receive a chance to make a fresh start. You did very well, Lind. Lind doesn't answer, only leaning against the cabin wall in silence. The scorching pain from the virus infection still aches in her body, and a sense of survivor's guilt envelops her. Lind reflectively looks down at her trembling hands. I'm sorry. Did you see how happy Chongju was to commit a felony? That's our Frostfall squad. When the choice is to be neutral or good, they chose good. Eh? Lind, leader was praising you. Why are you apologizing? I mean, all this happened because I went off without permission and acted alone, right? And I even asked to change the plan at the last minute for selfish reasons. If anything had happened to all of you because of that, then I... Lind swallows the rest of her words. The three of them quickly exchange glances. Then they head over to Lind's side as one. What's this, Lind? Are you actually worried about us? Relax. We're all okay, right? I believe our squad exists to support each other, understand each other, and to encourage each other. And in the end, your plan turned out fine. Yes, Cheetah and Tololo are correct. I know what kind of feelings must have motivated you, Lin. Your unwillingness to let Griffin wither away, the anger that drove you to save your fellow dolls, the pain you felt when you thought you had involved us in your trouble. The truth is, we're all the same. The same? Correct. Chongju gently pats Lin on the shoulder and smiles tenderly. As members of Frostfall Squad, we all have the same goal. We simply see things from different perspectives. Ultimately, I'm also partially responsible for this. I didn't communicate my thoughts clearly with you, which led to you feeling like you had to take everything on by yourself. So don't blame yourself anymore, and relax a little. Okay. Lin looks up, her eyes filled with gratitude. It is then that Chongju notices the wound K09 made on Lin's arm. Here, I'll help take care of that for you. Chongju takes out a repair kit and patches up the cut with a gentle touch and practiced skill. The pain from the wound makes Lin wince. Ugh. Aw, why don't you turn off your pain modules, Lin? Patching up wounds hurts, you know. The truth is, I can't disable my frame's pain modules. Why not? Doesn't that mean you've been enduring all that pain during each battle? Lin falls silent, then nods. Well, I wouldn't say enduring it. After all, I'm used to it by now. I was an experimental doll used in clinical trials. Part of the reason why Carl kidnapped me was because of that. What? Lin doesn't feel the disgust or awkwardness she expected when discussing this part of her history that she didn't want to disclose. Instead, she feels free. My first memories of this world were an icy cold research institute and endless days of clinical trials. My frame received special modifications in order to meet certain experimental requirements. Not being able to switch off my pain modules was one of them. But doesn't that make fighting in everyday life really inconvenient? Why don't we ask Miss Hellion to change out your frame when we get back? I'm sure she'll be able to think of something. Lin shakes her head. One of Griffin's researchers asked me the same question when I first came to Griffin. He said that human sensory feedback would affect my performance in battle, and recommended that I change to a more convenient body. But I refused. Wasn't that a good chance to do it? Why'd you say no? I didn't know why I did back then. I just did out of reflex. Same thing with my name. I ought to be repulsed by the name Lind. The lab that I was in gave it to me, and it contains all the painful memories from back then. But even after getting the chance to change my name, I still chose this one. At that time, I didn't know why I was so insistent on it, but now, I think I'm slowly beginning to understand. Lin looks at her friends. Back then, I thought I existed to be a test subject, that my pain was the only value I had. To deny this pain would be to deny my entire life, and the reason I had for existing. It was in Griffin that I came to understand the true worth of a doll. It was my bonds with everyone that helped me realize that I could keep going forward, even while carrying the pain of the past, and that I could fight to protect others. I mean, the first step of accepting your past is being able to look it in the eye, right? Lind. And that's why I won't change my body, and I won't change my name. Frostfall Squad made me feel like I belonged, and you helped me understand my reason for existing. Thank you for all that. A can of cool fruit juice suddenly presses itself against Lin's cheek. Lin looks back and sees Cheetah grinning at her. Waiting on a pack of snacks, she squirreled away for a moment like this. Aw, don't be so gloomy, Lind. Frostfall is a home for 4, which means we're all essential to it. Makes perfect sense, right? Just like how you can't leave us, we can't leave you either. That's right. We're only able to handle difficult missions because we have you around. Whether in the past, present, or future, we'll always fight side by side. Yup. In order to celebrate yet another perfectly completed mission, let's throw a party when we get back to base. Correction. It'll be an after-crisis review meeting. Fortunately, the gold chip that Leader and Cheetah brought back is worth quite some money. Indeed. Not only have we solved our current financial emergency, I've also managed to come up with a promising action plan for the future. With Totolo's observation skills, the support from Cheetah's items, Lin's combat power, and my planning ability, we managed to demonstrate exceptional results in rescuing hostages and have proven that we can handle similar tasks of the same kind in the future. I believe that Frostfall Squad's reputation will soon spread far and wide. Beep beep. The communicator rings. Upon seeing the name on it, Chongju smiles. It's from Miss Hellion. Let's take it together. The 4 members of Frostfall Squad look at each other and smile. Then as one, they press the receive button. As the helicopter rises through the last of the collapsed particle clouds, the warm light of dawn shines on their faces. This is Frostfall Squad. Mission complete. We're heading home. Yeah! And so, the story is done. Well, we haven't finished all the notes, but the main story is done. And we can do these supplies. Pop. Just so we don't cap at 6. And reward time. It's reward time. It's reward time. Buy all these. These are important. Anyway. Limit rate, Lin rate up, sun never rises. Niketa rate up, Lin rate up, Niketa rate up. Voyage logs not available. So that brings an end to another Movember stream, and I need to end the stream right now because I'm hungry and I feel like I'm about to collapse. So thank you all for joining me tonight. The Movember marathon continues. Tomorrow I'll be over at Oboro Asano's channel for Tanuki Day. So catch me on Oboro Asano's channel. I'll make sure to link it on Twitter, Blue Sky, and in the Discord channel. Thank you. Thank you, Taurus. I see you were lurking. That's fine too. Let's see. And as I've been rating everyone and anyone who's been streaming with the Movember tag as solidarity for Movember. We are currently at $38. We're just $12 away from our first milestone goal, which is chat makes a tweet. Pretty simple. Anyway, I'm going to look this up. Movember, da 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 da, Movember, da 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 da. Okay, let's see. Who is on right now that we have not rated into? Ooh, Seraphim358. Let's see. Seraphim358. Playing some Dead by Daylight. 2v8. Discord community. You love to see it. You love to see streamers and VTubers connecting with their community. Let's see. I'll change this. I'll click this. Alright. There's Seraphim358. They're playing Dead by Daylight. I've said this before. Good night, everyone, and remember, stay prime.